Hey guys and girls, welcome to a quick impressions video of The Princess Guide, a new RPG title from the guys and girls over at NISA America. And first off, before I even start this, I want to thank them for supplying me with the code for this one, so I could get this to you as quick as I can and as fast as I can. That's the same thing, isn't it? Definitely expect a full playthrough when the game releases, but let's just get down just to my thoughts at the moment. So the Princess Guide casts you in the role of a nameless protagonist as they decide to leave their heroics behind for a more mentor profession. As you're set with molding up to 4 princesses, I believe 2 per story playthrough, if I'm not mistaken, into either a great leader or a evil like lord, depending on how you choose to do so. With the added second princess comes in later, possibly. I think that was a selling point on the game, honestly, like as far as the story goes. But the game lets you customize your own character between female and male and sets you with a couple traits to suit your liking. Personally, the pervy one was the first to jump out at me, and I'm hoping that takes effect later on in the story. As you set about 4 stories that unwind differently depending on who you choose. For instance, currently for the playthrough, I'm playing through Monomaria's tale, and you get to learn a lot about the Rose Knights and how they became a mercenary band, which I thought was pretty interesting. And if the other tales are just that deep, are just as deep, I can honestly see myself playing through this a couple times, easily. The gameplay is split between running main missions, side missions, training on what appears to be kind of like a grid-like, almost, I want to say Monopoly-like map, as you decide what you do next. While enemies tend to kind of stalk around the map to trying to get you, trying to attack you. You will lead your brigade into each story mission. You're thrown into like a sort of roguelike battle system with fast-paced combat. Anything from dodging to special moves as you try to survive an onslaught of enemies, with the added bonus of turning traps to your advantage, which essentially could be healing totems, little faces on the ground that kind of shoot up fire, stuff like that, which really adds a sort of extra element to each level, as I have noticed the levels looking somewhat the same, but like I said, I haven't gotten fully into it yet. I am very much hoping to figure out my full thoughts on that by the end. After each fight, you are able to take a much-needed rest and send out your next brigade. This game has a total of what it looks like. It's like, I know it's over 4, excuse me, that you can kind of make brigades for, which makes me think there's going to be more brigade leaders that you're more than likely are able to use, which intrigues me. It really makes me, really opens up a sort of a real army feel to it, because you are leading a princess and her army back to their glory. It really kind of pushes the strategy feel to it, between setting out like a gunner brigade, opposed to say your fighter brigade that aren't suited to deal with enemies of a certain type. And also, I forgot to actually mention, when you play as the princess, the mentor character has a sort of few nifty features. For instance, he can buff the princess depending on if he scolds them or if he essentially praises them, and it could be anything between attack boosts, healing for that matter, which I enjoy a lot. It's saved me quite a bit, but it makes the overall experience interesting and life-threatening if all you have to rely on is an HP buff when you're almost dead. I haven't discovered if there's a romance feature. That's a feature I've been trying to find, but as we go on, I will definitely be able to let you know as we dive deeper. I plan to give my full thoughts by the end of the playthrough, but when you're not battling and or training, you're able to head back to a somewhat of a hub town, and basically do anything from crafting, buying new weapons, enlisting new soldiers, and overall just mentoring your chosen princess to be an unstoppable great lord. This I would like to save my rating kind of like for a full playthrough once I finally dived into every feature that I'm able to push. But I can definitely highly suggest this game for any RPG lover, any anime lover. It has great combat, has a great story. The only cons so far I'm able to honestly find is the maps kind of look repetitive as far as what you're battling the enemies on. And I would kind of like a little bit more variety in the nameless NPCs during story scenes. But that's just my personal nitpick. But overall, in the end, who doesn't like a bunch of princess waifus, right? But yeah, that's all I really honestly want to talk about with this one. I hope you guys actually go check it out, because NIS brings really fun games over here, and I want them to continue to do so into the future and beyond. They've been a very great source of RPGs and JRPGs. For instance, Chosen Cold Steel 3, which is coming from them, which I am super excited for as well. But yeah, I'm going to have links in the description to where you can pick up the game. I'm also going to have a sort of description on the game in the info below. Let me know if you guys are going to pick it up. Anyway, guys, this is Crix13 signing off. I'll